week. Mauna, silence is very important. Gandhiji was doing one day Mauna every week. Why are you not doing? He became Mahatma because of that. You are also going to become like Mahatma. One day a week you need Mauna, silence, where the mind will not work. When you are talking, the mind is working. When you are silent, the mind is not working. So, not making the mind work, that is the whole spirituality. So, practice Mauna, Swamiji, and see the difference for yourself. One day in a week, you must not open your mouth. Gandhiji never opened his mouth. Why are you opening your mouth? In the year 1995, for a whole 1 year, I closed my mouth. 95, in the year 95. Even when I was taking my mom to Chennai for her visa for America, I didn't open my mouth. I managed everything without opening my mouth. I took my mom to Chennai and to the visa office to go to America. I managed all that without opening my mouth. For 1 year, didn't open my mouth. There I get a lot of energy for my future work. You are lacking in energy because you talk too much. You are using your mouth unnecessarily, which is the common disease for everybody. You must practice Mauna. Start with 1 day a week. Then you can increase it. You know Meher Baba, Avatar Meher Baba, 45 years, no talk. He never opened his mouth for 45 years. Why are you and I talking? What is there to talk? We talk about all silly things. जो न घर के होते न घाट के होते हैं. हम ऐसे विषयों में ग्रस्त हैं जो न घर के होते हैं न घाट के होते हैं. बेकार की बातें होते हैं अक्सर. तो Mauna is my prescription for you, Swamiji. Before dhyana, Mauna is important. You must keep your mouth shut. Practice that. And then come back to me, Swamiji. I'm happy to see that you are right now practicing that. Not opening the mouth. And you are nodding the head. That's how you should do it. You don't have to open your mouth to say yes. You can nod your head. That's enough for me. No, don't open your mouth. Nod your head. The message is conveyed. Thank you, Swamiji.
Good evening and a great morning to all dear friends. On behalf of Buddha Siva Quantum Foundation, I welcome all of you for today's masterclass, our Sunday special. And today we are very lucky to have Kiran sir with us. So he is going to talk about the topic nonviolent communication. So warm welcome to you, sir, for today's session. And before going into the session, so shall we meditate for some time? So we will do the meditation first, then we will listen from Kiran sir. So the meditation, what we do is Anapanasati meditation. For that meditation, you sit comfortably, close your eyes, clasp your fingers and cross your legs and absorb your normal, gentle, soft breath. Now we will have the music along with Chandra sir's guidance. Let us do the meditation. After the meditation, we will hear from Kiran sir. Is it okay, sir?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Dear friends, dear masters, with your specs removed, eyes closed, keep your hands in your chest area. and resting your attention on your sacred heart. And can you feel your beautiful heart? Feel the center of all emotions, nurturing all life. With its higher vibration of love, compassion, kindness, gratitude. Can you recollect an experience from your past? Or simply imagine to be living an experience of higher emotions of love, deep joy, gratitude. Relive that moment and feel that energy. The more you experience this higher emotions and energy of love, compassion, the more coherent you become. With all things and everyone. We are all deeply interconnected. Deep inside, we are specks of energy connected to each other. Tell yourself to direct this energy, to spread this energy to everyone and everything on this planet, to help them elevate themselves. Where your attention goes, there your energy flows. Feel. And slowly, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation with your fingers into fingers, hands comfortably rested in your lap. Observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. We are going into powerful group meditation, dear friends. Observe your natural in-breath and the out-breath. When you observe your breath, your mind becomes empty. the mind is becoming empty. We experience greater emptiness. That calmness inside of you, all around you. It is natural to have thought. When you recognize your thinking, go back to observing your breath and allow yourself to go into the deeper states of calmness, emptiness. as the mind is becoming empty, all that liberated energy is channelized into the present moment. Your body begins to function at its natural best. You develop greater power of thought. Into your breath and allow yourself to experience that emptiness, calmness inside of you, all around you. Become aware of that calmness, stillness within you as you merge into your breath. All emptiness is energy. This is the quantum field of limitless dimensions, the field of infinite possibilities. The more you are with it, the more you tune in to the abundance of healing energy. Empowerment energy. That energy of love, that energy of the mystic, or whatever you can become aware of. Plunge into this emptiness of no body, of no thing. less matter, more emptiness and energy. As the mind is rested, you move away from this matter, your body. You experience that emptiness, energy, the feel of all connection, the field of all wisdom. The more you are in this calmness, emptiness, the more insightful you become, the more connected you become. Merge into the emptiness of yourself, your divine self. Receive your greater mind, that awareness. the more you are with it, the more you experience your intuitive intelligence. The more you develop that acceptance, and the more effortless life becomes. Friend, it's truly a privilege to be experiencing this life, to be exploring consciousness for a greater life at this time of history. Many are not so blessed. Can you express gratitude to everything and to everyone? Be grateful to this intelligent universe. To your parents, to your teachers, to your mentors. Deep gratitude to yourself, to your body. Give thanks to this nature, the mineral kingdom, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom. Gratitude to all the people in your life, to everyone. To everything, the technology, the system, the company, the governments. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. Recollect your experiences from the session. And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds. And then you open your eyes.
Dear Masters, hope you all enjoyed today's meditation. Now let us go into our master class. Once again, I welcome all of you. And today's topic, Kiran sir is going to dwell is nonviolent communication. So a brief introduction about Kiran sir. Kiran Anumalasetty is a past life regression facilitator and teacher. His awakening started through an illness called ankylosing spondylitis. After taking meditation for 10 years and suffering all the side effects, Kiran made a choice to stop medicines and start listening to illness. It helped him to listen to his deeper calling and change his life. In the course of self-discovery, he met his teachers, Dr. Newton Kondaveti and Dr. Lakshmi Newton, founders of Quantum Life University. Receiving their guidance, love, and wisdom, Kiran deeply healed himself and discovered his gifts of therapy and teaching. He is passionate about research and presented his work in several international conferences. He writes columns to the Age magazine. Kiran facilitates several self-discovery workshops in India and abroad. He is an authorized trainer and a Quantum Life University and teaches to several other organizations. Today, Kiran sir shares his wisdom from personal experiences and deeply touches the heart and soul of the participants in his compassion, love, and wisdom during seminars. So today we are going to listen from him. So one thing what I thought was, normally we heard about non-violence, that is not hurting or and cruelty towards the living organisms. But today we are having a non-violent communication. That means even by communication, we can also hurt and make some pain to the others. So today we are going to know how we can be so soft and positive and touching the heart by following the non-violence in our communication. Welcome once again, sir, for today's session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, madam, for the wonderful introduction and the beautiful introductory meditation. And it was very nice meditating with everyone. Thank you also for inviting me onto this platform, Buddha CEO. My sincere pranams to my teachers, Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi, who are the founders of Quantum Life University, and to their teacher, Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji. I would like to share my presentation here. A small presentation to introduce this topic. Okay, I hope it is clearly visible and my voice is also clear. Welcome everyone. Welcome to this Saturday Masterclass.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay, thank you. And today's topic is nonviolent communication. So nonviolent communication is a beautiful wisdom shared by Marshall Rosenberg. He authored several books on nonviolent communication. This book being the most popular one, Nonviolent Communication, a Language of Life. And this book is widely popular across the world. It was translated into several languages. Marshall Rosenberg did several workshops across the world. He taught nonviolent communication for conflict resolution, for effective relationships, and for self-discovery, for parenting. It applies to all areas of our life, and even resolving conflict between nations, and in concentration camps, in prisons. So his work touched thousands and thousands of people from all walks of life. So it's a very influential tool. I will share the basics of this tool, how we can apply this tool to our day-to-day life, and how we can effectively resolve conflicting situations in our life, improve our relationships, and also our relationship with ourselves. So, what is nonviolent communication? So, this is the basic premise of nonviolent communication. Blame and criticism that we encounter in our day-to-day life, either receiving blame and criticism from others, or we blaming and criticizing others. In both the cases, blame or criticism is a tragic expression of our unmet needs. So this is the definition of blame and criticism by according to NVC. So when there is an unmet need and it is expressed in the form of blame and criticism, when we strive to make an empathetic connection with others by listening to their needs, conflict resolution is possible. So the purpose of NVC is to make an empathetic connection with the other person. And how we make that connection? It is by listening to the needs of the other person. So we listen to the feelings and then we listen to the needs. And that is when a deeper connection is possible with the other person. And that is when conflict resolution is possible. So Marshall presents a beautiful concept called all fears. So it is a metaphor. Jackal language is also a metaphor. When we are using criticism or judgment or blaming in our communication, it is called jackal language. And all fears is how we listen to this communication. And when someone is judging us, someone is criticizing us, or blaming us, when we wear these all fears, all we listen is only judgments, only criticism, only blame. So this is one concept that Marshall frequently uses. But once we understand these concepts, it's easy to go into the model of NVC. So the first concept is all fears, where we listen to the criticism or judgment or blame in the other person's words when they are criticizing us. And the second kind of ears is giraffe ears. So the giraffe ears, it involves actively listening to understand the other person's feelings and needs, rather than focusing on assigning blame or reacting defensively. So the first instinctual reaction of anyone, of any person when listening to blame. So let's say if someone is criticizing me or blaming me, okay, so my first reaction is to defend myself. Okay, there are two ways I can react. One, by acting in, where I feel pathetic, where I feel disempowered, where I feel depressed, listening to those criticizing words, blaming words. So that is acting in. And there is another way of reacting where I can act out and express anger and defend myself and use the same kind of language again to protest or protect myself. So, but whereas in giraffe ears, when we wear these giraffe ears, we listen to the other person's feelings and needs behind the blame, behind the criticism. So it is very deep work. It involves developing that compassionate heart. The reason why Marshall calls it as giraffe ears is because giraffe is the land animal with the biggest heart in size. So metaphorically, he uses giraffe ears as listening with heart to the feelings and needs of the other person, even though they are blaming you, even though they are criticizing you. So now moving to the 4 ingredients of NVC. So there are 4 beautiful stages, beautiful ingredients or steps. We can call them as steps or ingredients of NVC. The first one is observation, where we clearly observe and state the observation without judging others, without going into judgment or blame. And in the second stage, we notice the feelings, pay attention to our feelings. In any given situation, we can apply these steps. And the third stage is we pay attention to the needs behind the feelings. What are the needs that are not met? What are the needs of us? And in the fourth stage, we make a clear request. A clear request to the other person, how they can act in a way so that our needs can be met. So this is called clear request. So a clear request is not a demand. We are not demanding anything from the other person, but we are requesting, and we are okay when the other person says no. So we will go into each of these steps now, and we will take an example and see how we can apply. The first step is observation. So Jiddu Krishnamurti said, to observe without evaluation is the highest form of intelligence. Without evaluating, if we can observe, that is the highest form of intelligence. So that is what we are trying to do in this stage. So I will give you a few examples where the left side, a few examples where the evaluation is mixed in. For example, she is not going to finish the task on time. So this is not an observation, clear observation. Here we are mixing some evaluation or judgment. Okay. The observation and evaluation we have to separate. Observation and judgment you have to separate. I don't think she will finish on time. This is what your observation is from your side. Okay? You are not deciding whether she will finish or not, but you are stating that this is your thought only. And it may be true or may not be true. He is lazy. When we say the other person is lazy, you are judging the other person. Okay. But there is a reason why we are judging. What is the observation? Both the times I walked by today, he was not working. So you saw him not working and sleeping or relaxing, and you came to this judgment that he is lazy. But instead, you have to state this observation as it is. So you are always busy. If you say that, this is judgment. But when you say you didn't have available time to meet with me this week, so this is a fact, observation. So how to separate the evaluation from observation? Okay. You start with the facts without trying to diagnose the problem. So many times we run into diagnosis very easily. That is our natural tendency to diagnose the problem with the other person. But that will not really help us. In this step, we are not diagnosing, we are not evaluating, we are not judging. And we separate the feelings from the facts. Sometimes we mix the feelings. When the other person, let's say when you had a situation, and in that situation you felt terrible or sad or painful or lonely, and we mix those feelings and state our observation. So here the purpose is to acknowledge what happened, acknowledge the fact, and honesty is the key here. We are being very honest when we are stating the observation. So after many people struggle with this phase, observation phase, and I was counseling a person, and I asked him to state what is this problem. And the moment I asked this question, he listed all his problems, a big list, more than 10 problems. And in all of those problems, it was about the other person, or about his feelings. Okay. So I asked him to clearly state the observation. Okay. Then he struggled to filter the feelings, filter the judgments from his problems, from his problem statements. So it took a while for him to do that. So it is very common for people to not pay attention to their actual problem. Okay. Instead, they focus on their feelings and they mix those feelings with judgments. So once we clearly state the observation, we move to the second stage of feelings. This is how you felt. They are not your interpretations, they are not your thoughts, they are not your judgments, but this is a honest feeling of you in this situation with this other person. For example, I feel angry when you say these words to me, or I am hurt because of what you said to me. I felt disappointed when you turned down my offer. I felt I'm ignored when you didn't listen to my opinion. So these are honest feelings. So in this phase, we are in touch with our feelings completely. We acknowledge our feelings completely. And then here, sometimes what happens is we tend to run into the needs. I'm feeling insecure. Actually, we are actually moving into the need. Security is a need. So we have to stay focused on the feelings here in this step. And I'm feeling sad. I want you to do this. I want you to take me out for a lunch or a dinner. I want you to give more room for a personal relationship. So these are demands. We are already running into demands. So we are not mixing demands with feelings here. So these are some tips for expressing feelings. And we move to the next step, which is needs. I'm sorry. So when we move to needs, here we are getting in touch with what is the unmet need behind the feeling. So according to NVC, needs are very basic. Needs are something which makes us alive, because these needs are alive in us and it connects to the life within us. So there are certain needs behind every feeling, and we have to identify this unmet need and we have to express the same in this step. So here are some examples of needs. Here it's a chart of category of needs given by the Center of Nonviolent Communication. There are several categories here. Autonomy, connection, needs of autonomy, needs of connection, needs of meaning, and physical needs. So these needs help us connect to our life within us and also within the other person. So NVC helps us connect, bring this empathetic connection between you and the other person at the level of needs. You are meeting the other person at the level of needs. For example, choice, fairness, acceptance, inclusion, intimacy, kindness, love, power, meaning, presence, self-expression, creativity, and there are a whole lot of physical needs: sleep, rest, food, shelter, sexuality, safety, touch. Authenticity is a very important need. We want the other person to be authentic, and we want to be authentic in all our relationships. Equanimity, harmony, and playfulness, joy, humor, laughter. So recently I was interacting with a 13-year-old boy who was going through a chronic illness related to stomach issues. And I was working with him at his level of feelings and needs. So when I explained to him about the difference between feelings and needs, he was able to articulate very well. He was able to understand it. Kids are very much in touch with their needs. As a child, a child is very needing, always needing. They want freedom, they want acceptance, they want acknowledgement, they want all the physical needs to be met, they want appreciation, they want playfulness, joy, humor. And as he listed his feelings first, and then I asked him to list his top 5 needs behind those feelings. And then he was able to get in touch with his needs. He listed few of his needs like love, friendship, creativity, adventure, and the 5th one is joy. These are the 5 needs that he listed. And then I asked him, write down few ways how you can meet these needs in your interactions with people, family members, friends, peers, at school. Can be anything, or some activities on your own, or um, by any other means. I want solid action-oriented ways, positive ways, how you can meet these needs on your own. Then he listed beautifully for each need 10 different ways how those needs can be met. So this helped him to connect strongly with his needs, that his needs are okay, that his needs are valid, and he felt so empowered after this exercise. And he felt so light after this exercise. So this is what happened in the society at large. In the way we grew up, our society, schools, parenting, everything didn't support our needs. They created a very negative image of our needs. We are afraid that people will say that, oh, you are a very needy person. So we don't want to be a burden on others. We don't want to be very needy. So in our language, there is no scope for expressing the needs. For example, when we feel anger or a certain emotion, and in families, they have this no feel rule or no talk rule. A boy cannot cry, or a girl cannot express anger. So In the way we grew up, we suppressed our connection with the needs. We lost the connection with our needs. And we created layers of shame or guilt around us. So whenever I used to feel angry, I used to feel ashamed before starting meditation, before coming into the spiritual path. I was never in touch with my anger. I used to feel anger is bad, and I used to immediately feel shame when there is a situation which provoked anger in me. So I was educated in that way, that anger is invalid. And that created shame in me. And I operated from shame for so many years. So when we lost touch with our needs, we develop other layers around us, like guilt and shame and arrogance. So when we connect to our needs, and when we understand what is the need behind this feeling, then we can move to the next step. This is important. You make a clear request. What is the other person? What is it that you want from the other person? What do you want the other person to do in order to meet your need? So these are the qualities of a clear request. First one is it should be a positive one. You are not telling the other person what not to do, but what to do. It's a positive one. For example, a wife communicating this, a wife in a husband-wife relationship, the wife is having this need for husband's time. Okay. And instead of blaming the husband that you always focus on work, you come late to home, you are selfish. So instead of blaming, if she gets in touch with her own needs for intimacy, for presence, for time, togetherness, so she can, when she is in touch with that need, she can make a clear request. Okay. Using positive words. For example, I would like if you can take me to a park or for a movie Sunday morning, where we can spend some quality time together. So it's a clear request. It's action-oriented because there is some specific action in it. And most important thing is it should not be a demand, it should be a request. So it is with what energy you are approaching the other person. You can make a very polite request, but it doesn't mean that it is a clear request. You can use very soft, soothing words, but the intention behind that request is you want the other person to do it, no matter what. For example, a child is not listening. His child is too much into the screen. So if the parent's focus is on what the child should not do, then it is not clear request. That's not how you communicate in NVC. You never focus on what you don't want the child to do. Rather, you focus on what you want the child to do. A positive statement. You can, in that situation, the parent can say, I want you to spend some time with me playing. Or I want you to come out with me for a walk. That is action-oriented and positive language. And it's a request, not a demand. And if the other person says no, then you will still be okay with that if it is a request. But if it is a demand and the other person says no, you will be hurt. So that's the difference between a request and a demand. So there are some examples of clear requests in various situations. Would you be willing to help me with the dishes tonight? So this is positive. You want some specific action to be done. It's action oriented. And it is clear. It's not vague. Can you spend some time with me? That's a request, but it is vague. It's positive, but it's not action oriented. So it's important to state how you want the other person to spend time with you. Or you need some help because here the need is you have too much work, the maid is not there, you have dishes to be washed, clothes to be washed, so you want some help. So this is how you ask the other person. Would you be able to send me a summary of the project update by Friday afternoon? This is a classic example of a clear request at work. Can you finish this work quickly, or can you give me an update as soon as possible? It is vague. Okay. By Friday afternoon, it is a clear request. And you are not asking the person to finish the work. You are saying, send me a summary of the project update. It is action oriented. Okay. I would like us to spend some quality time together this weekend. Would you be open to going for a hike on Saturday morning? So you don't know whether the other person will agree or disagree, but it is important to make this effort to express your needs to the other person in the form of clear requests. And when we follow these 4 steps, the observation, the feelings, paying attention to the feelings, and then the needs behind the feelings, and then making clear request. So you are actually, what is the purpose of these 4 steps? It is important to understand what is the purpose of this. It is not to get your work done. Mostly there will be a success in that when you are using this model of NVC. Most likely you will have good results, but that is not the intention of NVC. The intention of NVC is to create an empathetic connection with the other person, where you are acknowledging what is alive in the other person in this moment, what is alive in you in this moment, so that there is a possibility of meeting both of your needs. Everyone's needs are met in this empathetic connection. There is a possibility for that to happen. And when we touch the other person empathetically from our heart, by acknowledging their needs, by acknowledging your own needs, this connection is formed, and it creates, it goes a long way in resolving the conflicts. Either it could be between wife and husband, it could be between parents and child, it could be between siblings, it could be between colleagues, or it could be between 2 nations. Marshall demonstrated that. He used NVC to resolve conflicts between nations also by using this model. So here, the second aspect is listening. Here we are talking about from expressing our own feelings, needs, and making a clear request. And the other part is the listening part. You can also use NVC when you are listening by wearing giraffe ears. Remember the giraffe ears, which is listening to, filtering all the blame, filtering all the judgments, but only listening to the feelings and the needs behind those feelings. And this is the beauty of NVC. It empowers you not to be stuck at the level of judgments, not to be stuck at the level of criticism, but to go beyond that. And then you feel the heart of the other person, what the other person is feeling, what the other person is needing in this moment. So as we start practicing these giraffe ears, we become more and more heart-centered. We become more and more empathetic. It's not sympathy. Empathy and sympathy, there is a difference. In sympathy, we are expressing our own pain in reaction to the other person's suffering. But in empathy, we are listening without bringing our own reaction into it. We are actively listening to the feelings and actively listening to the needs of the other person. So I would like to close with a small exercise because we don't have much time, I think. Yes. So yeah. So I encourage you to take any conflicting situation in your life. It could be a very simple thing, or it can be something that recently happened in any of your relationships at work or at home. So you can pay attention to the situation. For example, an argument happened between you and your partner, or between you and your child, or it could be a difficult situation also, or a simple situation. Because NVC is universal, it can be applied to any situation. And as you pay attention to the situation, you are now paying attention to the clear observation. What is this situation? What happened? You are clearly stating the observation without judgments, without words of blame. My child is watching too much mobile. When you say that, too much is a judgment. You can say my child is spending most of the time in front of screen. Or my husband got so much angry with me because of one situation. So their feelings are mixed. So you can say, this situation happened between me and my husband. So just state the observation clearly, without mixing feelings, without mixing your own judgments. So when you are done with clear observation, now let's move to the second state where you are focusing on how you felt in that situation. Feel those feelings now in this moment. Maybe you felt sad or disappointed or angry or frustrated or lonely or painful. or helpless or shameful. Acknowledge these feelings, your feelings, without again shifting the responsibility onto the other person, without mixing the needs. So when you acknowledged your feelings, become aware of these feelings, then you move to the next stage where you are bringing your attention to the needs behind these feelings. Behind the feelings, there is some unmet need of you. What is that unmet need? Maybe the safety or security or intimacy, or you want your child to be more well. You want your child to be well. You don't want your child to be stuck in front of screen all day. That's your need. You want your partner to be honest. That's a need. Honesty is a need with their feelings. Authenticity. Or it could be higher needs. You want joy and happiness in everything that you do, or a deep sense of satisfaction in the work that you do. That can be a need. So just focus on the needs behind these feelings, behind these painful feelings. And then once you are in touch with these needs in this moment, acknowledge the needs as they are. Needs make us more alive. They help us connect to the life within us. We become more alive when we are in touch with our needs. Because this need is not met, initially it can feel painful. But it is a different kind of pain. It is a sweet pain. Because you are not resisting the need. Even though you know that this need is not met, it feels really good to be in touch with this unmet need. For example, you realize that you have this need for intimacy. Previously, when you are stuck in feelings and judgments, you are like judging the other person as selfish. And then you are now in touch with your feelings, which is pain, sadness, loneliness. And it's very difficult to stay there. But when you come to the level of needs, you acknowledge that I have this need for intimacy, which is valid. And you feel really good about it. Because you are in touch with life now. When you are in touch with your need, you are in touch with your life. So then you can make a clear request. How this other person or how this situation can be, in this situation, how effectively you can communicate your need to the other person. What specific actions that other person can take so that your need can be met in a smaller way. Positive action-oriented statement. So think about a clear request that you can make to the other person. It's not a demand, it's a request. And you say this in your in your within yourself, you can say these words to the other person as if you're talking to them, and see how you feel about it. Most of us feel lighter, more empowered, more relieved. We do this exercise. So this is the introduction to NVC. It's a very deep and uh, it's a huge topic you can explore on your own if you are interested in NVC and how it can help you in relationships, in parenting, in career success, and in also healing the relationship with your own self. How to, because self judgments stop us many times, our own judgments about ourselves. Okay. How to go beyond the self judgments and look into your needs, be in touch with your own needs and focus on meeting them. So, friends, with that, I would like to say thank you to Buddha CEO team, Vidyaji for giving me this, and Chandraji and Maniji for giving me this beautiful opportunity to share on this platform. And if there are any specific questions, I don't know if we have time. Sorry, I ran beyond the time. Uh, and if there are any questions or sharings, and if there is time, I am okay to take any questions.
Sir, I have got one question.
Yes.
So, sir, you said when we request the other person that what is the need behind it, and we are going to tell him on the need basis. That is a request. Suppose if the person says no to that, then how to take it? So it is again going to hurt us back.
Yes.
So I am asking, and he's telling no, and we are going to develop the same sort of a feeling and the painful thoughts and the criticism against him. So how to handle that?
Yeah. So in NVC, there are two parts. One is say telling and expressing your clear request, and the other is listening. So you also have to practice how to listen in the NVC way when the other person is saying no. And when you wear those giraffe ears and when they say no to your request, then you can see the feelings behind that no, behind that, and the need behind those feelings. Okay, so that is the objective of NVC. Even if the other person says no, you are still able to communicate at the level of needs. So there is an empathetic connection that is formed with the person. It's only a request, okay, but it is an opportunity for you to express your needs. Most likely the person may say no, okay, right? And then you practice listening to the needs, not judging the person for saying no. That is when the doors open for this empathetic connection to happen between the two people. And this connection will serve everyone's needs when we sustain it, when we practice it. The other person is bound to open his heart. And instead of getting into the blame game, okay, we stay at the level of needs. So it takes a lot of practice to develop this listening skills. NVC helps us to translate blame or say or no from the other person into the needs, It's a practical tool. The person, maybe the other person is feeling insecure, or the other person is feeling unloved. So there is a need that is not met within him or within her. And when you listen to that, then you are making an empathetic connection. And then that's the objective of NBC. Okay, madam, thank you for that
Yeah.
valid question. So many people face that challenge.
Thank you, sir. I think we also need to develop the patience, I think, along with the practice.
Yes, yes.
Yes, dear friends, anyone wants to ask the question? It's a very valid topic. Yeah. Okay, friends, if you don't any questions, then can we wrap this session? Yes. Thank you, Kiran sir, for taking the time coming here, and you have taught us a very valid topic. So how we can be non-violent in your communication? I think it is more to manage ourselves first, then developing the empathetic relationship with others. So empathy actually creates the harmony between ourselves and also the opposite person. So
Yes.
we will try to follow this non-violent communication in day-to-day life and practice it, and so that we will also change our life into a harmonious one and more a happier one. Thank you, sir, for giving us such a beautiful topic and the knowledge. And thank you all the participants who have joined today, taking the time and be with us. Thank you so much. See you all next Saturday again. Good night. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
evening. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody.